to see you.
Great to
Long
see
time
you.
no see, right?
Right. I feel like I get to see you all the time. It's
I
it's great.
and that is my great luck to be able to get to see you.
Oh, come on.
You.
uh Charis, welcome to the Faux Real podcast. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Um, you know, I am so elated to have you here on the show because we more or less just met. We haven't known each other that long, and we met at one of the many events that I I get to see you at, which was the Survivor finale, right?
That's right.
Um, that was very cool. One of the many spots around LA where these little events happen, and it's so interesting to me how many of these venues I pop up in LA, all over LA, that I've never heard of, and I get there and I'm like, oh, this is here.
Yeah, there are so many incredible events, and you're doing a lot of them. You're doing a lot of A-list stuff now, Devlin.
Well, a lot, maybe pushing it, but I have done some very cool events, and you are always at them, and I love to see you. And just like today, you look, absolutely incredible. And look at those earrings.
Thank
Is that,
you.
I mean,
Veronica Tharmalingam.
okay, very cool.
She does incredible work. I love her stuff. Yeah.
I can tell. Well, you are a fashionista along with all of the many multi-hyphenates that you carry, which is longer than a CVS list. You are an actress, model, you are a published author, and I want to talk to you all about your books because you created a universal beauty standard system.
Yes, I
And you released it's not all, I thought it was two books, but it's actually four, right? That you
well,
released?
I wrote four, and I realized that people didn't want to read like that much material. So I took the last two and I turned them into an artificial intelligence personal stylist.
Amazing. Amazing. I mean,
For the people, right?
yes, exactly. Taking advantage of people's, uh, want to, they'd rather watch a TikTok than read a book for sure. And that is so how is this AI accessible? Where can you find it?
Okay, well, it's soon to launch.
Okay.
So, because it is so extensive, it's taken actually many years to be able to get it up and running. But we're almost there. We're going to do a little beta testing and then put it out. And it's designed to make everything easier for people to be able to get dressed, to be able to look their best. So people can use it to shop for items that are right for them, and they can also use it to style themselves. So with items from their closet or items that they purchase, a mix of the two, to be able to look and feel your best, which is really important to be able to have confidence, to be able to go after your dreams and goals. And I really want everyone to succeed. So it's just one little contribution.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty big contribution, I would say, and a very big undertaking for anyone to pull off. But if anyone can do it, it's you. And it's really awesome that that is that is something that we're going to be seeing. And this is going to be an app that we can just find on the App Store, something to that effect.
It's going to be on an online platform.
Okay.
So I have designed what I hope is the hub of all things fashion and beauty. So people can go to this hub, they can find all these incredible designers. They'll be able to have their account. their AI stylist account. And I'm going to be, I intend to offer it for free for people to be able to shop for free because I don't want anyone to be left out. And then there's going to be a styling feature that will have a subscription fee. But as far as shopping goes, I want everyone to be able to shop for items that really work for them. And there are going to be some other aspects on that platform as well, some content and some other points of connection where people will be able to learn about what's happening in fashion and to be inspired to be creative with how they put themselves together. So there are going to be a lot of fun aspects on it that I think will serve people well. So I'm really excited for it. It's been a long time coming. So the day that it launches, I don't even know if I'll believe it.
Well, I believe it. If there's anything you are, it's inspiring. In fact, in the um, you were currently featured on the EGW Luxury magazine, and there's an article by Monica Lofstrom where she starts the article by saying, uh, Charis doesn't just walk into a room, she transforms it. And I absolutely agree with that because every time I see you walk in, I'm like, oh, here she comes. It brightens the carpet and brightens everyone's smiles, and we know that we're looking at professionalism walking through. It's always pretty cool. So and you have worked with everybody. You truly have, and you've been published everywhere in all of the magazines across the world. And anybody that goes to your Instagram, of course, can see all of the many styles that you've worn. You um, being such a person of fashion, who is one of your favorite stylists that you get to work with?
Oh my goodness. I've worked with so many incredible stylists. Um, oh my goodness, that's going to be hard to answer. I style myself mostly,
Mhm.
but I have worked with some wonderful people. Like I love Galina Sobolev. She's a dear friend of mine. There have been yeah, several stylists, but I love her energy. She is somebody that pulls the community together, and I feel like when you can go above and beyond what you do as a profession and bring more to people beyond what your talent, your like what you're hired to do. If you can do more than that, like hats off. And that she is one person who does that. She really pulls community together and is always championing people. So I really admire her for that.
That's incredible. And there are so many people, just like you said, that do such an amazing job. But you really have such a great eye for what looks good, and obviously because you literally wrote the book on it.
I did, Devlin.
You did. You did.
Well, I wanted
Um,
to figure it out, I want there to be no more, like proverbial bad hair days where you walk out of the house and you're like, ah, shoot, I do I look okay? I don't know if I feel, I mean, because it makes you feel a little when you don't feel like you look good. But if you feel like you look good, you're like,
yeah.
right there. You're doing like the John Travolta strut,
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, I want to make sure people have the ability to have that every single day, where there are no more moments where people go, oh shoot, or they don't feel good. I want to get rid of that.
Yeah, we definitely all have those days. I'm having one of those today. So
No, come on.
fishing.
Talk about it.
No,
Like,
but
come on.
that's why I blurred the background. I was like, I should have blurred the video at the beginning of this, but yeah, we definitely all have those days, and it's really cool to have that resource to be able to, have some kick in our day and know that we're we're doing all right, and it's you're absolutely right. It it helps the outlook of a person's day to know that they look good, feel good.
That's it.
Um, yeah,
Diet also has a component
sure.
as well. It's a component that's important, to be able to, I mean, I've also, besides the fashion elements, I've written, the book on makeup application and also grooming for men. And in those books, there's an entire chapter, pretty long one, that is about diet and nutrition, to be able to, know what to put into your body, to be able to also look and feel your best. And it helps with everything, not only with the way you feel during the day, but overall longevity, and also can help to fight aging. So it's really important to, inside out, to feel good inside and out. Of course, the outside helps you feel good on the inside, but if you put stuff in that's really good for you, then, it's like, it just adds to it, right?
The phrase "you are what you eat" really does, you know, it tends to be true. I know that I'm from the Midwest, so I have very much a Midwest palate, and you know, um I know I probably need to eat better.
Along with everything else.
Listen, there's nothing better than fried chicken, so you can't take it away from me. You can't have it. I'm sorry.
Okay, have a salad with it.
Fine.
Hey, can I share a fashion tip with your viewers, Devlin?
Please.
Okay. So one of the things that I have created is something called the 4-point rule. And the 4-point rule goes like this. If you have more than 4 points of major interest on your body, you're going to look cluttered. So it's important to do 4 or under. And it seems to just always work. And it's a really easy tip where, like, let's say, and what a point of interest would be is something that is bold, bright, shiny, attention getting. These earrings, for example, would be a point of interest. Your eye goes to them. So this would be, for example, 1 point. Red lips, that's another point of interest. So that would be point two. So far I'm good. And if we were to see the rest of this outfit, it's got some bling. So I would go ahead and qualify that as 3 points. And if I wanted to do blingy shoes, that's 4 points, we're done. If I wanted to do a bold hairstyle, that's 4 points, we're done. No blingy shoes. So that is something that is really helpful for getting dressed, and, heading out into the world and knowing that you look your best.
I love that. That's very interesting. If you circumvent the four, are you done for a carpet? Does that blow you out?
If you go above 4,
Yeah.
no, you can go do anything you'd like. That's it. But it will help you look better
Okay.
if you do 4 or under. That's
Got
what
it.
I've seen. It really keeps things classy.
Okay.
And it works with every style. So if you want to go bold hip hop in a bright orange jumpsuit and, blingy, diamond encrusted boots, you've got 2 points of interest. You've got two more. And outside of that, I would stop, of course, at the 4. But you can go 4 and under. So if you want to do a mohawk, you wanted to do a bright orange jumpsuit, blingy diamond boots, and like a big diamond cuff, you're done. Go easy with the makeup, go easy with everything else, you're okay there.
Okay. I think I'd look real good
It
with a
works.
mohawk, honestly. I
What?
think I could rock a mohawk.
I think anyone can rock a mohawk. I love mohawks. They're like an immediate statement of, of boldness, a little rebellion, a little rock and roll. They were synonymous with punk rock, which I'm a big fan of. So
Hell
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Charis, you are from boring Oregon.
Yes, I am.
What's it like in boring Oregon?
Well, the name says it all,
Says it
Devlin.
all. Hmm.
Yeah. It's a quiet town. Um, they have, like the boring burger. They have,
Is that right?
they have, yeah, there are cows.
Sure.
Nice people. The town got its name originally from being a rock quarry town. So it was like boring holes in rock. So the other meaning I don't think was thought about when the naming was taking place. But the other meaning definitely applies. It's a little woodsy. It's lovely. It's a beautiful place, but um, yeah, New York City was calling me. Come out. 18 and I was gone, but I love you in boring. Great town, great people.
I feel the same way about my hometown, Centralia, Illinois. Exactly as you just described. Lots of cows, lots of corn. We had oil drilling everywhere, which was made the air smell interesting. Um, you know, and small town life. Yeah,
I love the small towns. They build character, humility. Um, you know, it's it's nice to grow up in a small town. You have that experience. You can decide if that's something that you want to continue or if you want to move, somewhere else and explore life beyond. For me, I almost kissed the ground when I arrived in New York City, but that would have probably put me in the hospital. But I was so happy to be there. For me, fashion is something that has always called me. When I was living in boring, I would wear outfits that definitely didn't belong in boring, because I wanted to participate in fashion, even in a place where that was weird. So I got voted Miss Unique in high school. Um,
of course.
yeah, and but I was also the prom queen. So it was people used to compliment me probably on they would compliment my outfits, but they would also say you're so courageous because I literally would just be like, I'm wearing this. I would show up to school that way, and I didn't care. Um, yeah, some people didn't like it so much. I got pushed into lockers. So for some people, I was a
Seriously?
hero,
Oh
and
my
for
God.
others, it was probably threatening and in some weird way, like maybe cool fashion, I guess, threatens some people that are a little insecure.
People are always threatened by those who are different. I got pushed into lockers too, and swirlies, and all sorts of weird, fun
You
stuff.
got swirlies?
Probably why I'm such a germaphobe now, to be honest.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, I would have stood up for you. That is something
I
that
know you would
that's
have.
probably
I
why I
know.
got prom queen, because like I was the girl that really had a lot of compassion for people that had, you know, varying differences. I remember one girl, I saw somebody push her down. She was holding books in her arms, and they pushed her down, and she just like did a full front plant. And I took the grenade and I slammed him up against the lockers, and I told him that if he ever touched her again or did anything like that again, I would have the entire football team kick his ass. And
Yes.
and I helped her get her books off the floor and made sure she was okay, and on she went. So that was another aspect. I really have no tolerance for cruelty and being mean to people. It really hurts my heart. And I've had people come up to me years later that reminding me of things that I never, I like, I had no more memory of. They were like, "Remember that time when you did that? And I was like, no, but yeah, cool, you know? I'm good. And they're like, yeah, I'm like, I really meant a lot. So, you know, for people out there in the world, you know, stand up for people. That's another thing that is important to me, besides helping people look and feel their best, you know, I have a lot of sensitivity around injustice. So, you know, the more that we can look out for each other and the more that, you know, we can tell the bullies to knock it off, the better. Yeah.
And it's never been more important because there are more bullies out there than ever before.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I'm so glad that you brought that up too, because you're not only uh, a fashionista and a model and an actress and all of the things, but you're also a badass, which is one of the stories that we talked about the very first time that we met, because you had a break-in to your house, and if I remember correctly, you fought off the attacker, and I'd love to have you tell that story to my audience.
Yes, I did. I did have a break-in. You know, there was there's an agency that posts people's information online, and I was specifically targeted. And so this person decided to come into my house, and I have a lot of security where I live. That is, you know, stuff I've installed, and so you know, my alarm woke me up. It was around 5 a.m. ish, you know, and I heard somebody sort of outside, and I thought, okay, well, you know, there are transients in the area. Maybe somebody was just, you know, cruising by. And then I heard somebody trying to open my front door, and that got my attention. So
It usually does.
yeah, it was like, who's trying to get into my house? So I pulled out my phone and began recording because, you know, to me, one of the things that I've learned is that it's really important to have a record of whatever happens. Um, you know, I certainly don't go looking for trouble, but you know, you need to record it if it's ever happening. You know, like do your best to document it, because if the police are involved, it's one way to show what happened, and it's also a way to protect yourself. And you know, the story that you tell, if you have evidence to show, really is it's helpful. So so I hit record, and I went to a window because that's where I heard the like they were cutting open my window screen. And so I confronted him, and you know, I said, you know, what are you doing? And he said, I'm trying to get into your house. I was like, at least he's honest.
He
And
just
I
told
said,
you straight out?
he
Oh,
told me, yeah, he's like, yeah, but he said it like Jack Nicholson from The Shining. He was like, you know, trying to get
creepy.
into the house. Like, I was like,
Jeez.
but so I said, well, you're not going to get in my house. I said, and if you do, I'll, you know, I'll mess you up. Like I said it in other words.
I bet you did.
And I said it with a little more passion. But whatever happened, it caused him to take off. So that was great. And I have the police, you know, their information in my phone, because unfortunately I've had to call them a few times. And so they got him, and I had to go to court, and I spent my birthday in court. I
Oh
was
my
68.
goodness.
So that was fun. But yeah, so you know, he was still serving time as of this month, and this happened back in early December. Yeah. So
Wow.
I I know MMA. Like I hope
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It's just
I
uh
it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. You would meet me, you're like, oh, so cute.
that's incredible. And thankfully didn't escalate any further. I mean, obviously you know, you
Yeah, I
terrified
didn't
him.
I didn't have to fight him off. I just used words. Very strong words. That's
Uh,
always the better choice. If you can, de-escalate something with words and you don't have to go into any physicality, that is by far the best choice.
Always.
Highly
Absolutely. Once again, something that we need much more of in this society for sure, because it's crazy out there.
the wild
I'm
world.
so glad that it turned out that way, and that's all the further that it went, and they caught the guy. That's best case scenario. It's pretty wild. I know. I mean, we've all read all the stories of the worst possible scenarios, and yeah, that's scary.
Well, I think a lot has to do with deciding, that you are not going to be a victim. uh, to me, that's really important. It's like circumstances can come to you, but if make the firm decision, I mean, of course, be wise, but make the firm decision that, I'm certainly not a victim. I don't want to participate in anything that would be problematic. But if push comes to shove, I'm not going to back down. I mean, of course, use common sense. Like if there's someone that's on one side of the street, you cross the street. You
Sure.
make good decisions. But I feel like, especially for women, it's important to be ready to handle things, to be able to stand up for yourself. And if you can, stand up for other people as well. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I stand up for people as much as I can too, and I always have. I wish that I would have learned better protective skills earlier in my life, rather than going through all that I did, especially when I was little in grade school and junior high and that kind of thing. It was rough. But
I feel like all kids should be taught fighting skills, not to use the fighting, but to be able to have that, because it makes you more confident too, um, and calm. Because that's one thing that you're taught whenever you do fight is that the calmer you are, the better everything will be. So there's that. I feel like we also need to teach people how to do taxes in school. uh, and also when you teach people about narcissism in school, like there are a few subjects that we're truly missing when in traditional education that I feel should be there. And identifying, narcissist is one of them, besides, and fighting in the taxes. And I think then we'd be golden. Yeah, yeah, much
I
better.
I I totally agree. There's so many life skills that I think we should learn from a younger age, and I uh, I took the defensive martial art Shito-ryu for a little while in my younger years, and that definitely did help me build confidence and calm and strength and action of being threatened. So that that definitely helped. I also learned a lot of skills from my mom, who is a social worker. She's not anymore. She's since retired, but she really taught me a lot about dealing with people who are acting not exactly, normal, air quotes. But yeah, it's really important to learn those skills. Um, Especially to identify where the other person is coming from, just as you did in that interaction to identify uh, what this person might be doing and might try to do, and you handled it with calm, and you know, that's that's really awesome.
He also had a little weapon, but I had bigger weapons. So it's like,
Right,
you know,
right, right. I want to jump all the way back to the fun industry stuff. You have as an actress, you have done so many great um, projects. You worked on Wonder Boys. You were in High Art. Bringing Out the Dead with Nick Cage and Patricia Arquette and Tom Sizemore. Um, I'd love to hear a story or two about your favorite times on set, maybe working on one of those films, maybe something else of just a great time that you had on set.
Sure. Um, well, I'd like to back up a little bit and talk about Martin Scorsese
Great.
um, in the audition process. You know, I feel like I have been a natural writer forever. And when I'll read a script, I might think, oh, there needs to be something more here, or that dialogue could be sharpened. And sometimes I make adjustments. Sometimes they're welcomed, and other times they're not. It really depends upon, I think, the security of the person, you know. So Martin Scorsese is a genius. He is a wonderful person. He was a joy to work with. And when I auditioned for Bringing Out the Dead, I did feel that there needed to be an adjustment to the screenplay. So I brought in what I would do, and I did that. And they loved it. So I got to have those adjustments be on screen, which was really cool. But what I loved about him was that he was open to making things better. He loved to be able to have people contribute their creativity, um, and he was such an inspiration. I watched him work, and he would have a vision for how he wanted the camera placed. And he would have his discussion with his crew, and literally, like, they would build whatever he needed. And he was just easygoing about it. Like, he'd say, well, I think, the camera should be kind of like up there and angled down. Like, literally, they'd be watching, listening, and then they just bam, they would get it done. So I loved watching the production. And also, he was a wonderful actors director. Some directors are great, with the camera work, and they maybe lean in more towards that versus getting into the trenches with the actors. But Scorsese, he got into the trenches with the actors. He cared about every little bit, and it really shows in his work. He's not a legend for no reason. He's a very special person, and quite a talent. It was a huge joy to work with him. So there's my Scorsese bit, and also Nick Cage was a lot of fun. He was sweet. I remember watching him walk around on set in leather pants, and I probably wouldn't choose leather pants to like hang out on set in, but he's a rock star, like those leather pants, more power to you, sir. And I remember that he had an omelet chef, and I thought that's what happens when you
I've
make
heard about this. I've heard about this omelet chef that he
an
takes with
omelet
him.
chef. Yes, I was impressed with the omelet chef. Um, with Wonder Boys, it was wonderful to work with Robert Downey Jr. and Michael Douglas and Katie Holmes and Tobey Maguire. And I do have one funny story from that set, if you'd like it.
Absolutely, please.
Okay, so one of the actors, and I will not name who, um, kept trying to get my attention, and I didn't have any interest. So um, I make friends with people. It doesn't matter if you are famous or not famous. If you're a good person, we can be friends. And there was an extra standing next to me, and he was just wonderful. He was so much fun, and we were just having a blast. And so I invited him over to my side, with my into my trailer, and we watched Antique Roadshow and just had a blast. And then it was, we were getting hungry, so we went to craft service, and craft service on that picture was amazing. I mean, you talk about like variety, they had everything. So when he walked into this trailer that had the craft service, he was like, oh my gosh, this is like it was in Candyland. I mean, it
I
was
can imagine.
and
I know where this is going.
if they didn't have it, they would make it for you, or someone would go out and get it. I mean, it was like it's amazing. You
Those sets are
don't
the
want
best.
what you asked for because I made that mistake on a film and somebody went out and I was like, does it have a, like gum? Because I had something for lunch that I didn't want blasted on anybody, and nobody had gum. So this and I was like, oh, it's okay. I'll figure it out. Like I'll get mints or I don't know, something. And literally a bag of gum like this big came back. Somebody went out and bought every single type of gum. I thought, I'm never asking again for anything. Like I just, that's too much. But anyway, back to the trailer. So anyway, so my friend was looking around and he was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, help yourself. So we started piling plates and an actor walked in and he was like, he saw the extra and he goes, what do you what are you doing? And like what's on your plate? What are you eating? And my friend was like, oh, it's so and so, it was a famous person. And he goes, oh, well, I have. And he started to like name the things on his plate as if the person didn't couldn't see this
Hmm.
for himself.
Right.
And anyway, so as my friend was telling this person about what was on his plate, the famous person turned around and left. Well, then in comes a security guard. You guys can't be in here. You got to be over on the other side.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, okay, no problem. I said, we'll just make sure and, tell the second AD where I'm going in case, somebody needs me. I don't want to be missing because that's unprofessional. So, just let them just tell her the second AD that I'm going to the extra side. So I was on my way, and the second AD goes by and I said, hey, I'm just going to go to the extra side. I was just asked to do that. And she's like, you don't have to do that. You can go to your trailer. You can do whatever you want. I thought, oh, okay. I knew better anyway, but I was not going to, you know, disrespect this nice security gentleman. So he got in trouble. And I didn't think that was fair. The security got in trouble because he told us to go to the other side. He was only doing his job. Really the culprit was the person who, created the problem and when it wasn't a problem. So this poor security guard comes to my trailer because, we took our food back into my trailer and he's like, and of course, this poor man, and he was the size of two people, like this way, like it was like big,
Hmm.
and he was like, and he was like a shriveled little person. He was like, Miss Michelsen, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's
Oh,
okay. We know what happened, and like we're cool. Don't even worry about it, So, but stuff like that, like, come on,
yeah, right.
come
Get
on,
get out of here.
get
Yeah.
out of town.
I
Yeah.
actually thought the story was going to go badly for the background actor because I there are so many of those stories and I have been involved in most of them.
Really? As
I
background talent or
when I was non-union, I got in trouble so many times for, going to Crafty when it was only for SAG and that kind of thing. But that's so disappointing that there are those, people just need to chill out. Let's all just chill out.
his
It's
life is
not it's
totally
not that
private. Like
serious.
leave
It's
people alone, leave people alone.
right.
If
Yeah.
anything, go do something helpful.
Right.
Like ask people if they're thirsty, go get them water. That's what that's what you should do. Because it's like, this is the unfortunate mentality of some talent is that we're there, it's all about us, you guys do your thing, and like you serve us. And that's just not it at all. I mean,
Mhm.
we're all there working together to make something. And so we need to support each other. So if you're an actor on set, if there have any actors watching, make sure to take a look at the scene and go, okay, like, can I offer them water? Can I, like, you're probably not going to be carrying cables because that's out of your territory and you don't have the like the qualifications to be able to do it. But as far as like making sure people are okay, water, just and being cool, easygoing, very important. Um,
That's
yeah,
right. It takes a,
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
I only pulled the actress card one time, and it was
Oh,
to save somebody from getting towed.
oh,
Yeah, so I was on a film, and this like whole area had been blocked, with cones and signs, and this is the area where the film is going to happen, so you can't park here. Well, there was a car parked there, and we were in a residential neighborhood, so it probably belonged to somebody that lived in the area. And it was after the time, so now it was in our time where we had, the area legally. And the people who were, like dealing with the trucks, they were like, okay, we're going to get this guy towed. And I was like, why? Because there's plenty of room. Do you need that space? And they said no. And I said, well, why are you getting them towed? Just leave them alone. And so I put up a big stink to make sure that poor soul didn't get towed. I mean, gosh, like, was it like $400 or something to get, to get your car out of the tow yard, and then you get a ticket, and like it's just that was the one time that I did pull that card.
good, good. That's great. That is the way to use your superpowers.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
That is what you do.
Using
Yes, every time.
responsibly.
Yeah, it's there have been so many times when, there's some AD having the worst day and they make all of us have the worst day. I'm speaking as when working background and that kind of thing, but there's just there's no need for that. There's just no need to have that sort of drama. We're all working together and doing the same thing and, making the magic happen together. So it's just being ridiculous.
I thought so too.
Um, there is just endless things that we could possibly talk about. Your fashion, your writing. Um, Again, you've worked on so many great projects. A is there a director that you've yet to work with that you would like to? Is there a project that is coming up or coming out, something that is being worked on that you'd like to work on? Is there a project that you have that is coming up that you're really excited about?
Oh, yes, 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 and yes. So I am a huge fan of the John Wick series. Like, I don't just like, walk to the theater. I run. I literally can't get enough. I even like Ballerina, like that entire series. That is a that is something I would love to get involved in. And I don't even care. I'd be background. Like, I would just love to be involved in that. I'm such a big fan. So, there it is. And as far as projects that I'm doing, I've been offered some movie parts, and those projects are moving forward. I also have a television show that I'm going to be hosting, and that is connected to a legendary Hollywood establishment that is a fashion, beauty, and entertainment oriented documentary style TV show. I've also been asked to host another show, and that is in the works. So looks like if things move forward, I'll be really busy. So I'm glad that we have this time now, Devlin.
I am too.
Together.
I am so thankful and I'm so excited for you because you always have things going on. You always have work and you work. Um,
Right, sweetheart. You
I,
put that down.
you know it. Um, I have a confession to make. I just saw the very first John Wick. Just saw it. I
How
don't know
did you
why I
wait that
waited.
long?
I love Keanu with all of my nerd heart. I love him so much. I don't know why I waited, but I just watched the first one, and now obviously I'm hooked, and I have to watch them all. Maybe we can have a marathon together or
Oh,
something.
I would love that.
And yeah, Keanu is the absolute best. In fact, he's got a
He really
new
does those stunts too. She's badass.
badass. Yes. Um, he has a new he has a new film. I think it's called what's it called? It's going to be on Apple TV, and it's of course got a great cast. Um, Outlast, Outbound. Anyway, I had just communicated with his publicist to see if I can get him on the podcast because I shoot for the stars, baby. You know what I mean?
You hang with the stars, Devlin.
Well, I'm taking
You
pictures of
do.
them right now, and hopefully that will, lead to even bigger things. And yeah, Keanu's the best.
He
He's
is.
awesome. I think he would be so brilliant to work with. Just one of the coolest cats out there, you know?
That's it. Not
He
only is he talented, he's a great human being, like stellar human being, kind, humble, like easygoing. He's exactly a case in point where I think how actors should be. Do your work, do it well, be an awesome human, and be a good role model. So, and he does. Yeah, I love him.
just like you do. And there are so many I can't wait to see the projects that you just mentioned coming out, and I can't wait to see those announcements in the trades. And you have so much incredible work ahead of you. Um, I love being your friend and being able to sort of vicariously go on that journey. I love seeing my friends get work. I love seeing them succeed. It makes me so happy. Um,
I love
so
that too. I do. Like when somebody in our circle wins, I feel like I've won.
that's right.
Because we're all, working towards things that matter to us. And so, when somebody is able to, achieve that, it's like, hats off to them and more power to them. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy you're my friend too, Deb.
Oh, thanks. All right. Where can people find you across the
Well,
things?
Instagram, my handle is Charis Michelsen _official. That's CHARISMICHELSEN
Awesome. And of course, anybody that shows up to literally any of the red carpets across all of Los Angeles can generally see you in some awesome outfit and generally walking around the Studio City Farmers Market on during the weekends. So
Love the
uh,
famous market.
that's a place to be found out there.
That's
That
right.
is,
You guys
place to
support
be
farmers
seen
and
rather. Yeah.
mhm.
Charis, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
And
Back at you, Devlin.
I'll see you on the next red carpet.
Okay, take care. Thank
See
you
ya.
for having me.
Faux Real is hosted and produced by me, Devlin Wilder. I also coordinate talent booking. Logo design is by Charis Michelsen. Social media is done by Oprah Labs. You can follow the show across social media at Faux Real Pod. That's FAUX. The outro music you are hearing now is Dynamo Rainbow by Christian Leo. Faux Real is a production of Wilder Entertainment.